Okay, hi guys. So we are ready to roll. I am literally so excited to kick off 2022 with one of my best friends, okay? Because guys, when I say that this year is really all about friendships, we are going to talk so much about that. I feel like when we are going into talking about distributors this year, one of the biggest key things I will say is everybody started out as a distributor, but I feel like all of us have really found our friendships in this business. And so I'm really blessed to do this entire Zoom with one of my best friends. And just to show you guys that, even though we have similar like points of views on like how we run our business, we're very different, we're very unique. And at the end of the day, like we both still succeed in this business. And it goes to show that you're not going to look like me, you're not going to look like Jess, but you are going to be successful in this business if you do, obviously take notes, listen to what we have to say, and implement that going forward into your business. Okay. So I'm just going to introduce myself really quick, just to say that, hi, I'm Haley. I am a triple diamond. I have been in this business for a little over 3 years. I work this full time, and I started out as a really broke recent graduate from the University of Missouri. And I had a degree, and then I had 3 minors, and I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. This business just fell into my lap, and I waited 9 whole months to join. And I finally got up the courage, and I joined. I pressed submit. And I felt like I accomplished like the scariest part, like was pressing submit and getting started. And so once I pressed submit, I literally was just all in once I started my business, and I freaking ran. I accomplished my first goal in 72 hours. I started making an extra $500 a month in like 40 days. So I was serious about it from the very beginning once I actually like jumped in and got started. And then I started making a full-time income about 8 months in, and I never looked back. I left corporate America. I've retired my husband as well. We take trips every year, which I just got back from a girls trip, which was so freaking fun. And I honestly am just so blessed to live this life of freedom. We're going forward to being debt free this year. Like there's just so much that's happening and so much I've been able to accomplish just because of this business. So I just want to introduce myself, and Jess, I'm going to let you introduce yourself too, and then we'll go into the tips.
Hello. Hi, guys. I'm Jess. I know a lot of you guys know me, but I feel like hearing anyone's story over and over again is just so good. Like there's so many leaders that I know their story, and every single time I hear it, it just inspires me and like makes me feel good and shows me and makes me feel like I can too. So that's what I hope our stories do for each and every one of you guys. Even if you've heard our stories a million times, I would still sit here and listen to Cassie Westland's story 10 million times, or Cheyenne Knox's story 10 million times, because they are proof that you can do it, and we're proof that you can do it too. So, hi, I'm Jess. I have been in for 3 years as of last month, which is so exciting. I joined a little bit differently. So, I had just graduated college, and I actually knew what I wanted to do with my life. And I had landed my first full-time job as a geologist. And, whenever I signed the contract to my 9 to 5, I was like, oh my God, like this is it. I've made it. And I was so wrong, because the paycheck started to flow in, and I'm like, what is this? How am I supposed to live off of this? And so I ended up picking up a part-time job as a softball coach, because that's what I did in college. I played softball. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just make a little bit of extra money. It's perfect because I can do it on my schedule. And that cash started to flow in too. And it's like, what is this again? Like, this is still not enough to live off of. And I remember looking at apartments for me to live in and my boyfriend to live in. And they were like $800, and they were like so crappy. And I was like, $800, I could never. And now I feel like if we see an $800 rent, I would like leap with joy, because that is so cheap. And but back then I was like, I can't afford that. Like that is way too expensive. Like I was living in my parents' basement working 2 jobs at 22 years old. Like what kind of life is that? And so about that time I was like Google searching like work from home jobs, and I obviously didn't find anything. And then I got a notification that someone requested to follow me on Instagram. So I accepted it. And the girl messaged me, and I ignored her. But you know what I did? I immediately went to her story and I looked at it. And I saw that she was making money from her phone. And I was like, oh, that's what I've been looking for. Sign me up. Signed up right then and there. All because she sent me a cold message. I didn't respond. I ignored her, but she posted on her story about the business, and I slid up and I was interested in it, and I joined immediately. So that's where Haley and I are different. She was in college, I was already working full time. It took her 9 months to join. It took me 9 seconds to join. And here's another kicker. Here's another difference is that I didn't join and hit my goal in the first 72 hours. I don't even know what I did in my first 72 hours, but it took me a month and a half to get my very first customer. A month and a half. Now, if you think about yourself, or if you think about a girl who joins you, if it's going to take her a month and a half, we always get this overwhelming fear of, oh my God, if they don't get it like right off the bat, they're going to quit. Or if they don't get it right off the bat, they're not going to be successful. But I'm proof that it doesn't matter how fast or slow they get their first customer, their first distributor. Obviously, we're trying to help them get it as fast as possible. But if they don't, that means absolutely nothing, because guess what? Me and Haley are pretty much in the same exact spot. She went super fast. I went super slow in the beginning, but look, you all look at us now and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be there. And so if you are in a spot where, okay, it's maybe taking me a little bit longer to get the amount of customers that I want, or the amount of distributors that I want, it's okay. Because at the end of the day, whether it takes you a month and a half to get your first customer, but in 5 years you're ambassador diamond, you're not even going to care that it took you a month and a half to get your first customer. All you care about is where you are then. Your journey is your journey for a reason. Don't ever wish for someone else's journey, or don't ever try and speed up time, because one of the biggest things that I've learned in this business is it's truly all on God's timing, our promotions included. And one of the biggest things that I learned on a Zoom right as I was pushing for these big promotions, and I was getting so close but I wasn't hitting them, or I was like felt like I could do it but I hadn't done it yet. And one thing that I learned from a Zoom while all of that chaos was going on, before I promoted to diamond and double, is that God is not going to give you something for you to just lose it. And when I hear that, I think of our promotions. God is not going to give you a ruby, emerald, diamond, double, triple promotion just so you can lose it. What he's doing is, in this time, he's preparing you to be the best possible leader, triple, diamond, double, ruby, whatever it may be that you can possibly be. That way it's sustained, because he doesn't want to see you lose it. And so whenever we're pushing for these ranks, or pushing for these goals, or pushing for these bonuses, even if you don't hit it, you're still so much closer than when you started. And just know that, yes, you may want to go ruby this month so bad, but it ends up happening next month. He's preparing you that in this month and in the part of next month, when you end up hitting it, in those 2 months, you've learned and grown so much more than if you would have gotten it right off the bat. And so that's one of the things that going into 2022, I want you guys to push like no other, but I also want you to have patience, and I want you to have faith. So I know a lot of, I'm sorry, Haley, I'm going off on a tangent. It's just like all coming to me, but I know a lot of the times, we're so impatient and we're like, I want this promotion now. I want this bonus now. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been there, where you're like, oh my God, can I just have it now? Like, I'm ready. I've put in the work. Like, like give it to me, right? We've all been there. Look at all these ones in the chat, right? So what is going on right now, and you wanting this, that's awesome. But put the work in behind it, because at some point in time, we've all said, oh, I want it. And then and you work really hard for a day, and then the very next day you're like, where's my motivation? Yeah. So that's why things aren't happening. You have to put work in behind it to get those results that you want. But I can pinky promise you, and a pinky promise means a lot to me. If you know me, I can pinky promise you, if you wake up every single day, God will bless you with everything that you're working for, and then some, as fast as he possibly can. And that is a promise. And the last thing that I want to end this little tangent on is, I want you guys to think about your end goal. So let's think about maps. Okay, we all have like an iPhone or an Android, and they have maps, right? So you can look at like a wide angle of a map, and you can see where you started and where you're going, and you kind of see your car traveling on that map, right? So think about where you started is the starting point. That rank that you're pushing for is the end point, right? And you're the little car that's going on along every single day. So every day that you wake up and you push and you do the little things, even if you're getting rejected, even if you're getting told no, even if you're having a bad day, those days that you wake up and you still show up, the good days, the bad days, the days in between, that car is getting closer and closer and closer to that goal. But the days where you wake up and you're just like, not really feeling motivated today, it's basically like your car stopping at a pit stop and just sitting there. Your goal's not getting any closer. You're not getting any closer to your goal. You're just staying still. And so you're getting further and further away from your goal than you would be if you just showed up. So I encourage you guys, if you wake up and you get discouraged sometime this year, think about what your goal is. Think about you on that map. You're that little car and you're just going for it, even on your good days, even on your bad days, even on your days in between. Because guess what? That's what Haley and I and every other leader in this business have done. And that's where we are where we are. And that's why we're sitting on this Zoom talking to you guys, telling you this, because we know that your car can go further and further and further and further and get to that goal if you just show up and keep that car moving. Okay. I went off on a tangent. I'm so sorry.
No, I freaking love that. Like, who else loved that? Drop it too. That was so good. I literally had like chills at one point when you were like, God is preparing you, like it will all come together. I love that so much because you're so right. Like, keeping the faith is like, it can be so hard because you feel like you're alone. You literally feel like you're the only one that wakes up unmotivated, right? Like, drop a 3 if I'm relating to you. Like, you feel like, oh, well, like, you know, Jess couldn't feel this way, Haley couldn't feel this way, Cassie couldn't feel like this, like there's no way, you know what I mean? Like, I used to think that all the time. I'm the only one who's struggling with customers, I'm the only one who's struggling with distributors. Like, you start to get into this comparison game and you're singling yourself out, when in reality there's no reason to feel that way, because everyone has a season of their life where customers are down, distributors are down, you know what I mean? Like, Alex had to get real with me at the end of last month, and he was like, why do you think like every month is going to be like your highest paycheck? It can't always be this forever. You're never going to learn anything. You're never going to grow if you're constantly just always at the top of your game and you're always the best of the best. You're not going to learn anything because you're going to be way up here. Everybody else is going to be here learning things, going up and down, and you're just up here. That sounds pretty lonely to me. So for me, I would personally rather grow every single day learning things. And that means that I'm going to get real with you. Your pay is good, but your pay will drop. My paycheck is lower than it was last month in December. Going into this month, I opened my prelims today. I don't know how many of you did that. Drop a 4 if you did. I opened my prelims today, and my paycheck was lower than last month. But you know what? I wasn't mad. You want to know why? Because last month was one of my highest paychecks I've ever had in this business. And I was literally this close. So it's about the consistency. And I could have looked at everybody else, because we have this thing like in my team where we talk about how much our pay raise was and we get so excited. How many of you can get discouraged if you see someone else get a pay raise and you didn't? Or you see someone else got more distributors and you didn't. You had a goal and you didn't hit it, but somebody else did, right? I used to be like that. Like, I used to look at someone else and be like, oh, wow, they have what I have, like what I want. Like, I didn't get that. And I really wanted that. Right. But at the end of the day, you have to actually look at your goals. And as long as you are growing, as long as you are moving forward, that's all that matters. It's not a race. This business is not a race. You are not in a sprint run 24/7. That's not how this works. It's just you putting one foot in front of the other and making steps to be better. Like Jess said, to be your best destined version of yourself every single day. That's what you're working towards. So as long as you're growing, that's all that matters. You don't have to go diamond in 30 days. You don't have to go ambassador by the end of the year. That's not what it's about. It's about the lives that you're changing. And that's why distributors are so important. Because at the end of the day, would you rather be surrounded by a lot of money or a lot of lives changed? For me, I know that lives changing in this business comes with more dreams fulfilled, more money for my kids' freaking tuition someday. Like, I know that comes when I focus on changing lives. That's how I know, and that's how I stay focused on like the goal, right? I have goals of how many girls I want to help go diamond. I have goals of, oh, I want to help 3 girls, reach a certain level of income this month, or I want to help a girl get her 4 and a friend this week. I don't care if she's brand new. I don't care if she's somebody who's been working. I am literally just focusing on the girls who are working. And I want to say this is one of my biggest tips tonight. We always say to not focus on the no's, right? We always say don't focus on the people who are telling you no. So why are you focusing on the girls who aren't talking to you back? Or really, they're just really not working with you the way that you want. Why are you putting all your energy and all your focus into them when you could be putting all of your energy and focus into your new girl, Jess, who just joined 2 hours ago? That's super freaking excited, but you're busy focused on, I don't know, Jazzy. I don't know where that came from. You're focused on a girl named Jazzy who's been in this for 6 months. She's not responding to your text. She's not even active in the chat. She's not hopping on Zooms, but you're so focused on helping Jazzy because she's just a part of your chart and you want to like really focus. No. What about Jess? Maybe if you gave Jess a little bit more time and energy and focus instead of giving it to somebody who doesn't deserve it and doesn't want it, you would be farther along. You could help her change her life versus somebody who doesn't want to change their life. Because let's be honest, everybody that joins this business doesn't actually want to change their life. And at the end of the day, we can't make someone want their dreams. All we can do is help them achieve them. That's all we can do, guys. So please stop focusing on things that you can't control, which is what people decide to do once they join the business. Are you here to run anybody else's business or work it for them? I can promise you right now, this was a joke on our girls trip. And literally one of our friends was like, Haley, if we swapped phones, she was like, we could just like, I could just work your business. And she goes, then I could like send all the potentials to my website. And I was like, I don't want you to work my business. You're not going to work mine. I'm not going to work yours. And it was just such a joke. But I thought about it and I was like, I'm not here to work anybody else's business but my own. I'm not here to work anybody else's business but my own. I'm not going to want anybody else's dreams more than I want mine because I was put here on earth to live out my dreams. That's why I'm Haley. And that's why Jess is Jess. Tabitha is Tabitha. Christine is Christine. Kaylee is Kaylee. Gabby is Gabby. That is why you are who you are. You have your own dreams, so focus on that. And it doesn't mean that you can't be excited and want their dreams, like obviously, and get excited. There are plenty of girls. I mean, how many of you are like, heck yes, I want my girls to achieve their dreams. Drop a one. I want my girls to pay off debt and go on their honeymoon and, you know, get that puppy they've been wanting or move because they just hate living with their parents. I want that girl to quit her job because she deserves better. All these things, right? But do you want it more than they want it? And if the answer is yes, and you're getting them more excited about the dreams that they told you when they joined, something is missing and they have to find that themselves. So one of my biggest tips tonight is please put your energy, your time, your focus in this year and forevermore into people that deserve and want your time, energy, and focus, okay? Because that's just gonna make, I promise, make your team so much stronger, so much better when you're pouring into girls who are pouring back into you. And I don't mean they got to give you advice. They're new. That's not what I mean. I mean, pour your time and energy into somebody who's going to respond back, who's going to send you screenshots. And I know you're like, well, Haley, sometimes people get busy. That's fine. People get busy. But is she following up with you? Is she texting you in her first month? Does she text you first? Or are you constantly texting her every single day for her first 30 days? I understand we need to do that for the first couple of days, get them excited. I get that. But if it's 30 days and you're still texting her about her dreams and her goals and making her be like, what? No, she joined because she wanted to start her business, not yours. Okay. We are our own CEOs and we have to start acting like it. Okay. So one other thing I want to say really quick, and then Jess, I'm going to let you jump in. I got like a whole page of notes. You already took the leap. Can we just talk about this for 2 seconds? This is going to be just, I'm so excited to talk about this. How many of you are scared of something in your business? Drop a 2. Okay, I will drop a 2. I'm going to be totally honest. I've had fears, right? 100%. You know what's so funny? You already did the scariest part in your business, which was signing up. That was your scariest moment. You know that, right? Literally, all the fear was into signing up for the business. Even if you signed up so fast, like Jess, she was still terrified. It was still brand new. She was like, well, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm like right on the line. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I don't know. What if this is a scam? What if this is the biggest mistake of my life? You start to get in your head, right? You already made the freaking jump, okay? You were already on the other side of the canyon. You jumped. You did it. So start moving forward. Start walking. Start doing the damn thing, because you're not here just by happenstance. You are here because you're meant to be here. So start acting like you're meant to be here. Show up, not just to Zooms, but show up on your social media. Show your face, right? Show up in your DMs, answer your people, show up on Reels, TikToks. Get out of your comfort zone this year, right? Because last year, if you want the exact same results as last year, you'll do the exact same things that you did last year, right? And they will come full circle for all year this year. And you're going to be like, wow, I didn't really accomplish much, or my pay didn't really go up. Are you doing anything differently than last year, right? Do things differently, and things will be different for you. But you guys have to make that decision. I can't make it for you. Jess can't make it for you. We would love to make it for you. So many times I'm like, if I could just show this girl that if she would just make some TikToks, she would get so many more potentials, right? Or if I could just show this girl, she would just send a couple more DMs every day. I wish I could do it for her, but I can't, because it's not my business, it's yours. So you have to start showing up like you're already on the other side of the canyon. You're acting like you're literally before the jump, like you're scared of something, of going diamond or quitting your job or whatever it may be, or enrolling a distributor. Why are you scared? You're scared of failure? That's not possible. That's not possible. The only way that you fail is if you quit. That's the only way you fail, in my book, personally. You quit, you're done, right? That's it. But you know what's so funny? You're still here. So, honey, you're not failing. You may be at a standstill right now. You might not be moving your feet, right? You're like, holy crap, I don't know where to go. I don't know how to move my feet. I just took the biggest jump of my life, and now I don't know what to do. But you just got to move it. You just got to move your ass, okay? Move your feet one step forward at a time. And again, it doesn't have to be a race. It just has got to be a step forward. So please go into this year realizing you already made the jump. There's nothing else to be afraid of, because you want to know what? It can only go up from here. It can only go up from here. It can only get better for you. And like Jess said, your efforts are always blessed. That is like one of my favorite freaking lines. My team hears this like 24/7. Your efforts are always blessed. You're scared to put in the work because you're scared of what will happen. I'm sorry, what do you have to lose? Can someone give me an actual honest answer for this? Because every time I ask this, everyone's like, I have no idea. What do you have to lose by putting in work? Nothing. Results. You've got results to gain, money to gain, friendships to gain, a team to gain, lives changed to gain. There's nothing but positive things. So the fear that you've made up in your head, it's not there, because you're already on the other side. So why not just keep moving forward? Okay, go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I love that. Honestly, like mic drop. I was just sitting here like mic drop, mic drop, mic drop over and over again. I want you guys to drop a 4 if something impacted you that Haley said, that she just said. Like, I don't even know what to call that. It's not even a tangent because it was so good. But if something impacted you, I want you to drop a 4. And this is why it's so crazy. Like when we have Zooms, like our whole idea for this Zoom was enrolling DTs, which we're about to talk about now, and training new DTs as well, because that's how we want to make money this year, honey. We want all of our girls' goals to come true. We want our own goals to come true. We want our paychecks to be higher. When I say we, I mean like each and every one of us on this Zoom. And how are we going to do that? Through enrolling DTs. And so that's the idea that we had for this Zoom. But it's so crazy because all of you guys who just dropped a 4, there was something that Haley said or something that I said that you guys needed to hear. That's why I love doing these Zooms. So let's get into the other good stuff, which is enrolling DTs. We're going to go back to 1. So drop a 1 if you would like to enroll more DTs every single month. I'm going to drop a 1 because I feel like I can always be better. I know, Haley, you're going to say the same thing. We're seeing a lot of 1s here. So we're going to talk to you guys all about how we are enrolling so many DTs, mass enrolling DTs, even now that it's $150 to start, because quite honestly, when I found out it was $150 to start, I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I am finally going to get lots of serious people. And that's why I love that it's $150. And I want, going into us talking about how we enroll DTs, I want to just state that the fact that it's $150 is like the best thing that ever happened. It works. And now they get products and they get a box, which is absolutely incredible. They get a box with a cup and a little shaker bottle. I had a girl join me on the first. She got her box yesterday and she sent me a picture and she was like, oh my God, even the cardboard is cute because it's like a marble print to it. So what we have to offer when you join, like what they get is worth far more than $150 freaking dollars. Just the products alone are more than $150. But then they get this stuff. Oh, and by the way, you can buy the kit if you want it yourself. You can buy it on eSuite. It's only $45, which is really good. You get a really cute coffee mug and a shaker bottle and a 90-day dream board, which is just incredible that our company is doing this. But I wanted to just start out us talking about enrolling DTs by saying, to start for $150 is so cheap. And the moment that each and every one of you realize that they're not starting a job, they're not starting a, oh, I'm going to go work at Target, or I'm going to go work at McDonald's, or even me, oh, I'm going to go be a geologist and work a 9 to 5. They're not starting a job. They are starting a business. And so when we understand that, when someone tells me, oh my God, why is it $150? In my head, I'm like, are you serious? Why isn't it more? And so when we understand that they're starting a business and not a job, when people think that, you know, $150 is expensive, we understand inside that it's actually really, really cheap, because any other normal person, Joe Schmo on the street who's going to go start a business, they're out like 15 grand, not $150. And so when we understand that, it makes it so much easier for us to enroll distributors. And when we have that mindset of like $150 is so cheap, like they're so lucky, they're starting a business to change their life with this small investment of $150, enrolling DTs is so much easier. And I mean that so much. And I know that it's true, because there's so many girls on my team, and Haley, I know that you can say the same. The moment we got over the fear of $150, it was game over. DTs were like flocking to us and to our girls. And so that's the first thing, is to understand $150 is bomb, and what they get is incredible. The second thing is showing up every single day and doing the little things. So Haley, I figured I could talk about like TikTok and live posting, and you could talk about like Facebook Reels and live posting on Facebook. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about is how I enroll a lot of DTs. And so, you know, I get asked all the time, how do you enroll so many DTs? Or even how do you enroll so many customers? I know Haley and I actually talked about this weekend. There's not one single thing that I do that I can say, oh my God, girl, this is what you do. Like, here's the recipe to enroll DTs. I don't have one. Why? Because I do all the things. I do the TikToks, I do the Instagram Reels, I do the story posting, I do the live post on Instagram, on Facebook Reels. I literally do it all. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I do, and then Haley's going to talk about some of the things that she does. And I want you guys to understand that the things that I do, Haley does. The things that Haley's going to talk about that she does, I do. We literally both do all of this. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is TikTok, Instagram Reels, and then of course Facebook Reels. So I want you guys to drop a 1 if we're on 2. Drop a 2 if you have made one. Drop a 3 if you have not, because you're scared. So I'm seeing a lot of 2s. That's good. I'm seeing some 2s, not seeing as many 3s. So that's good. So if you are doing it, if you have dropped a 2, I want you to drop a 4 if you do it consistently every single day. So of all those 2s, let me see the 4s. I have 2. So I'm going to drop a 4. Haley, you can go ahead and drop a 4. So of all the 2s, we only have a handful of 4s. So the way that Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok, the way that works is you do it in volumes. So you don't just post once, hope to go viral, and then don't post until 6 weeks later. So in order to grow on those, it's kind of like Instagram back in the day. If you guys remember that, you probably don't. But back in the day, to be, successful on Instagram, not even just with It Works, but I'm talking like influencers, or even if you wanted a lot of followers and you were just a normal person, you posted every single day. Same thing is with TikTok. Post consistently every single day and watch that ish blow up. And that's a promise. Haley knows that. Adrian knows that. Gabby's getting to know that. Anybody who's blowing up on TikTok, you'll know that it takes consistency and it takes posting a lot. So I know Haley is a perfect example of this, but I'm going to use Adrian as an example. So Adrian's on my team, and she started TikTok like a while ago. And she always posted consistently, and she would get so excited. She'd be like, Jess, my video just hit 300 views. And I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. She'd be like, I got one message from this. And I was like, so hyped. Like, that's incredible. That's one more message from a video that she posted about distributors or even just the products. She got a message that she wouldn't have gotten if she didn't do it at all. And I'm going to tell you that TikToks are really easy to make. They take you like no time at all. Anyways, she stayed consistent on it, getting low views, getting, no messages from it, getting all of these things. She still stayed consistent. She still kept doing it every single day. And then it was like a month and a half ago, she was like, oh my God, my video hit 13,000 views. And then this girl, like every single video is just blowing up now because she stayed consistent. Y'all, she stayed consistent with like little to no views for months. Just kept showing up, just kept doing them, kept showing up, kept doing them. And then boom, they finally started to blow up. Guess what? That's how my videos started to blow up. Guess what? That's how Haley's videos started to blow up. Guess what? Anyone who's successful in this business on TikTok Reels, Facebook Reels, that's how they started too. They were getting little to no views, but they still showed up consistently every single day. And then boom, one day it blew up, and that was just open the floodgates for them. And so I challenge you guys going into this year, all of those twos that didn't drop fours, start doing them consistently. Go to my page, go to Haley's page, go to Allison Messer's, Adriana's, Cassie's. There's so many people who are successful on TikTok. Go to our pages and copy it. Literally just copy it. That's the cool thing about TikTok is you can copy it and girl, you're fine. You're perfectly okay, because guess what? You're a different face. You don't have my face. You don't have my story. You don't have any of that stuff. It's different. And TikTok doesn't know any better. They're going to boost you if they want to boost you. If it's a video that ends up going viral and you copied me and it took you 30 seconds, hell yeah. But use that, it can take you a little bit longer. Let's just say it takes you 15 minutes to make a TikTok every single day. But in 2 months, because you were so consistent with it every single day, all those 15 minutes added up, and you ended up having a DT video that got 200,000 views, and you have 4,000 influencer applications, all because you started being consistent today. So when it comes to DTs, start using Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook Reels to your advantage. Start making the videos. Of course, they're scary at first, but what do you have to lose? Nothing. What do you have to gain? 4,000 influencer applications. That's what you have to gain. So start now. If you want your 2022 to look different, like Haley said, what are you going to do differently? Here's one tip. Start making videos every single day. Mass make them. That's what Haley and I will do. We'll have a day where we get ready and we'll just film some. I don't even put the words on it. I just know what I'm gonna do with it, and I'll just film it. I don't look like, all beautimous every single day. So the days that I do, I use that time to make content to last me for a while until I have to make it again. And so that's what you guys can do. Work smarter, not harder. I mean, work harder too, but work smarter too. You're going to get a lot more done. And yeah, like Gabby said, change your shirt. I've done that. Haley does that. I mean, sometimes I actually don't change my shirt, and I'll just have 50 videos in a row with the same shirt. And guess what? I don't care. But just start showing up every single day and doing that. Another thing that I do, and this is super important, and I'm going to talk about this super quickly because I feel like we talk about it all the time. Posting on your story about the business every single day should be a non-negotiable. If the girl who messaged me wouldn't have posted on her story that day, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. All the girls on my team, y'all would not be here sitting here listening either if she did not post on her story. There are so many people who are watching you right now, and posting on your story about this business is so important because one day they could be thinking about the business right now, right? And you are so consistent and they see your stories every single day. And then finally one day their boss is just the biggest dick in the world and they're like, I'm over this. And then they open your story and what do they see? Yet another DT story, and they're like, finally, this is it. Like, I'm ready to go. And they finally join you. They could be like a Haley who just watches you for 9 months, or they could be a me who just happens to accept your follower request and check your Instagram story and see about the business and is like, oh, I'm ready. You don't know who it's going to be, but you show up every single day for me, for a Haley, for a you, for a Shelby, for a Tabitha, for a Kaylee, for a Justice. You show up every single day because there's people like us watching your stories every single day. And the same thing goes for life posting. If you're only life posting once a month, girlfriend, you got to be posting more. I tell my team 3 to 4 times a week minimum, posting about the business on your Instagram feed. You can post normal things too, because we're normal people and that's the beauty of this business, but post about this business. Like I was telling Haley, it's hard for me not to post about the business because it's just like how it's changed my life is so powerful that I can't help myself but to talk about it. And so I want you guys to start talking about it more too, because I would watch your Instagram messages start blowing up. Watch you start getting messages about wanting to join the business. Watch your influencer applications start to go through the roof with people applying to be on your team. Just because you're doing those small things, making the videos consistently, posting on your story every single day, posting on your feed 3 to 4 times a week about the business and showing your face on your story, because that shows people that you're a real person and they trust you. And then they're like, oh, she's a real person. She's posting about this. She's legit. Okay, I want to join her. So those are I would guess you could call it 3 or 4 key things that I recommend and that work for me when it comes to enrolling distributors.
I freaking love that so much. And I'm just going to straight piggyback off of that and say that I do all of those things. And it's crazy because people ask me, like, how do you do it all? Like, how do you get up posts and stories and host a post and reels? And I'm just like, oh, I just got my hands in everything. Like, I just got a little bit here. It doesn't take that long. Like, when you really think about it, it doesn't take that long. Because even in our boards app, you have life posts readily available to you. You can go to my page, Jess's page, and there's this thing called copy and then paste. And then you can just change it to your story. I did that for like a year and a half, copying top leaders and changing their story and like changing what they say and putting it into my story. You want to know why? And you want to know why I went to their TikToks and screenshotted their wording in their pictures, and why I went to their stories and screenshotted if they talked about their life and the business opportunity and showed it, and why I remade it is because they're there for a reason. They didn't just get lucky. I'm taking tips from the right people. I'm copying the right cats, and I'm not ashamed to say that I still do that. If Jess posts a bomb life post, your girl is ready to copy that and save it for a rainy day when my life gets busy and I don't have time to write a life post because I don't know, in Miami and we're just hanging out, like you guys never know like what is going to happen with your life. So on those days where you've got a little bit more time than normal, copy some posts, screenshot some TikToks. Not everything has to be original content 24/7, because guess what? We're all in the same business. We're literally all in the same business selling the same products. Now, we're all different. And I can tell you nobody's page looks like Haley's page and nobody's page looks like Jess's page, but we're all still selling the same products. We're going towards the same goals of changing more lives and making more money and reaching our dreams. So why not copy the right cats that inspire you, right? And I will say that one of the biggest things that has really changed my business the last couple of months has been Facebook Reels. All of my TikToks, it is easy as this. They save automatically when you post a TikTok to your camera roll. And I use the exact same caption and the same thing. I post 2 every night and I just go post them to Reels back to back, like post one and then 5 minutes later I post another. Another tip that I will give is about 10 minutes after I post, I told Jess this weekend, I'll post a Facebook post like gummies or how I'm looking for like more people to join my team. And I'll keep it on friends because I'm private profile. Obviously, if you're public, you can't really do this, but I'm private on both my Instagram and my Facebook, and I'll leave it private. And I'll have like one or two comments, either from random people or even my girls. I'll be like, hey guys, can you guys go comment this and boost it? And then I'll make it public. And you know what's wild? All those people that when that Facebook Reels starts popping and people are watching the video, or maybe they're not even interested in the video, but they're like, let me go look at this girl's page. What's the first thing they see? That first public post that got posted the same time that the Reels did. And it just starts to blow up. People are like, you've got 70 comments on this like distributor post. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't touched it yet. I still got to go through that and message people from a couple of days ago. And I've got that just from Facebook Reels. Not saying my friends of Facebook don't already comment. They do, but it pops off way more. So that's a big tip. When you post Reels, go make a Facebook post because it's just going to blow up, whether it's a life post or just a fun interactive post. It's going to bring so much more like interaction to your page, right? And it's just going to blow up. And then as far as live posting, I think for so long, I was like, people know my story. Like, drop a one if this is how you feel. Because I was like, I'm sharing this every day. They already know it though. Like, I don't know why I need to keep telling it. You want to know why you need to keep telling it? Because, and you can tell it differently every day, right? Not all the time do I say, I joined for $100 for groceries. Like, I don't put that in every single post. Everything's different, right? Like, I'll talk about friendship if it's a picture of me and my friends, or I'll talk about, if it's me and my husband, I'll talk about like where we were when we joined and like how our relationship was or how our income was together. If it's just me, I'll talk about just my personal journey. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, make it your own thing, but at the same time, know that there's a reason why you're live posting so much is because you are getting new people from Facebook Reels, from TikTok to your Instagram. You are getting new people from Facebook post to post. All new people are coming to your page every single day. Do you think they know who you are automatically? No. Some of them aren't going to scroll back, 3 weeks ago when you posted a live post or your first post. This is why we post every single day, because you are getting new people on your feed every single day. So do not hesitate to keep talking on your stories and sharing your life. Do not hesitate to share the little things like gas or groceries or, I don't know, paying for a trip with your girls. Like, nothing is too small or too big to share with this business. And I think for me, that was really hard because I've been in this for 3.5 years and I was like, should I keep sharing my groceries? Yes, because there's somebody on my page that freaking struggled to pay their groceries this week. And they didn't tell anybody, but they're feeling it. And they look at my post and they're like, oh, wow, I think I'm ready. You know what I mean? Maybe they weren't struggling a couple of months ago, but maybe they just lost their job and they need that. Like Jess said, you never know someone else's situation. No one knew that I took 9 months to join until I started talking about it. And they're like, wow, really? You seem like the person that would like join right away. I'm like, dude, I know, but I was like hokey pokey in it. I was like, I'm ready. No, I'm not. I'm ready. Okay, never mind. I just changed my mind. I was a flake before this business. I changed my mind a lot. I was not decisive until I joined. And then I was like, you know what? I'm all in. I'm just going to make it happen. I'm just going to do it. Because at the end of the day, I had nothing to lose. If anything, I was like, I'll be in the same spot from where I started. I don't want to be here, so I'm going to work to do better, right? And one other quick tip I'm going to talk about really quick as far as training your distributors. I just wanted to say to please be yourself. Please be yourself. Follow our trainings. Whenever you enroll a distributor, me and Jess are very hands-on with you guys, and we get involved with helping you train your first few girls because we understand. We didn't have that, right? Like when it came to training our girls, they were like, here you go. But like whenever we talked, she was like, yes, I'm very hands-on in the beginning because I want my girls to feel comfortable knowing they're not alone with training their new girls, because we were scared when we would enroll new girls and we don't want you guys to feel that way. So please know that even though we have scripts and even though we're very hands-on, you still get to be yourself. They joined you. They didn't join us. They didn't join Cassie. They didn't join Stephanie Dunn, #1 income earners. They joined you. And at the end of the day, they followed you. They wanted to be on your team. And do you guys realize how special that is? Like, they joined you in your journey. That's freaking awesome. They could have joined somebody else. I was watching another distributor when I joined. I was watching two girls. I joined one because she posted about her groceries and she stayed consistent. The other girl didn't. This is why you keep posting. This is why you stay consistent, because maybe there's a girl like me, or maybe there's a girl like Jess watching you that's just ready to swipe up on your story or comment on your grocery life post. You really never know what it's going to be like. So please, please, please do not judge your friends and your followers and be like, well, they would never buy or they would never join. Because at the end of the day, you don't know. I bought products and I was in college scraping paycheck to paycheck. I was a customer before I joined, and I still bought the cleanse and the greens, which berry greens were nasty back in the day. And I got them because I wanted to be healthy and I didn't care how they tasted, but I saw results. And when I saw results, then I wanted to join the business. So please don't rule anybody out. Get creative. Ask your customers when they finish their 3 months, are you asking them if they even want to join? They got results. They feel great. Why would they not be great at this business? They already love the products. They're going to love changing their life. So get creative when you're going into this year. Get uncomfortable. Do things differently. If you're like, hey, I think about maybe making a message to, like, a couple of my friends and family, going into the new year, I think they would be interested in joining. Do you think I should do that? Yes, absolutely do that. It doesn't have to be perfect. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, guys. So just do it. Get out of your comfort zone and do it. Remember, you already took the scariest leap and you already jumped over the canyon. So start walking and enroll that team member, because I promise you they could completely change your whole life. There are so many girls on my team that I never would have imagined would be on my team at this point in my life. But I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful that they are, because I wouldn't be where I am today without my girls, right? And they wouldn't be where they are without me. It is a 50-50 relationship. So don't feel guilty about bringing in girls, or don't feel guilty about like, oh my gosh, I need to help them and I'm neglecting my business. At the end of the day, it is a 50-50 relationship, just like any other relationship. Healthy relationship should be in your life. It's 50-50. And at the end of the day, you guys know that where you're going, you need a team. So let's get serious about distributors this year, and let's get serious about changing people's lives.
I love that. And the last thing that I wanted to add, wow, words are hard. The last thing I wanted to add, you guys, is to believe. Go into 22 with belief, with every single thing that you want to achieve, not just enrolling more distributors. Imagine yourself at the highest point that you'd want to be right in this moment, because guess what? I can promise you, as soon as you get there, you're going to want to be higher. I can speak from just experience, okay? So imagine yourself in where you want to be. How many distributors do you want to be enrolling? How many girls do you want on your team? How many people do you want texting you back? How many customers do you want every day? Do you want your videos popping off? Do you want your post popping off? Do you want your Facebook post popping up? Do you want all of these things? Imagine that, okay? And then show up as the person who all of that is happening to in that moment, okay? So have that same confidence in belief as if it's already happening to you, and it will happen to you. One of my favorite quotes, whenever I was working my 9 to 5, I used to just watch like motivational videos, but not like the ones where it's like music and like sound, not like those. Like I would watch like people's stories, like inspiring stories, and there was this one that always stuck out to me, and I'm going to tell it real quick before we end, because this will make you believe too. It was this guy, he was like severely overweight, like I'm talking, he was like 400 pounds, and out of nowhere he decided, I want to be a model for Nike. Like, this guy was like 400 pounds. He wanted to be a model for Nike. And everyone literally was like, okay, dude, whatever. And anyways, so he ended up starting to eat healthy, working out, doing all of these things. And the dude lost so much weight. It was insane. And just, went through all of these trials and tribulations. And through his journey and his weight loss journey, he had always been talking about wanting to be a model for Nike, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, when it all was said and done, he actually got to model for Nike, a former 400-pound guy who out of the blue one day decided he wanted to model for them, when if you were to look at him, you'd probably be like, okay. And he ended up doing it. And one of the biggest things that he said, and I don't really remember much from the story other than this, he always said, I knew it had happened. Time just hadn't caught up yet. And so every single day he showed up as a Nike model because he knew it had already happened. Time just hadn't caught up yet. So if you're going after Ruby, if you're going after Emerald, if you're going after Diamond, if you want 10 distributors this month, if you want 40 customers this month, if you want a $5,000 paycheck, show up as the person who has those things that you want because you're already there. Time just hasn't caught up yet. And that is my biggest tip for 2022. I want you guys knowing that all that shit that you're thinking about that's on your dream board, all of that, it's already happened, honey. Time just hasn't caught up yet. But you know what? The more that you show up, the more that you hop on these Zooms, the more that you text your leaders, the more that you send out messages, the more that you do the little things, the faster that time's going to go. It's just like the little car on the map, okay? We're not stopping it at any rest stops this year. I can promise you that. So if you're not going to stop at any rest stops either, let's just start doing all the things every single day. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a day where you wake up and you feel like absolute shit and you don't want to do anything. Show up anyways, because guess what? That day that you're showing up when you really don't want to, that could set you further than a good day that you just wake up and you're excited and you just show up. You could get like no customers that day, but because you showed up on the day that you really didn't want to, you enrolled like 5 customers out of nowhere. They just like came to you and you're like, I don't know how I did this. And it was because you showed up that day, girl. And so I just want you guys to know it's not going to be easy, but I can promise you that it's going to be worth it because everything that you want, it's going to happen. Time's going to catch up to you.
Oh, preach it, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, I hope you guys loved this Zoom so much. Tell me how you're feeling right now after this Zoom. Pick one word of how you're feeling and tell me in the chat because honestly, like I'm super excited. I'm sweating right now. I'm so pumped for 2022 and all the things that are coming for each and every single one of us. And just know you can do anything you set your mind to. There is no limit. You weren't put here to live an average life. You were put here to live an extraordinary life. And so step into that. Step into the person that you want to be and show up, like Jess said, as the person that you already are going to be. It's destined. It's going to happen. So start showing up as them now because why show up as anybody else than your best self? Okay? We love you guys so much. I will have this recording posted and you guys are the best. Seriously, thank you guys so much for hopping on and let's go rock out 2022. Bye, guys.